Were you happy when you were a kid? Tell me in the comment, were you happy when you were a kid? When I was a kid, I was happy. I had a lot of energy. I was excited about life. I was excited about the future. I believed that I was going to become more happy when I get older. I believed that things were going to make more sense as I get older. Things were going to become better when I get older. I'm going to have answers to the questions that I had. I believed that things were going to work out in the end. Life was going to become better because I was naive. I didn't know enough about the world. I was new. I was new to this world. I was in the same situation that a person who's in a new relationship is in. I was in the same situation where that a person who's in a new relationship is in. A person that you're in a relationship with is going to be as kind as possible. They're going to show you what you want to see. They're going to make you feel like you found the love of your life. You know, they're going to treat you well, especially guys. Guys are going to try their best to treat you well. When the relationship is still new, they're not going to show you their bad side. So I was still new. I was still young. I was still trying to figure out how things work in the world. So a lot of things were kept away from me. I didn't know what was really going on. Even though I was a very conscious kid, I was more conscious than a lot of people. I think I was more conscious than my teachers. I think I was more conscious than my parents. I think I was more conscious than my friends. I was very, very conscious. I was aware of things that most people weren't aware of. But I was still very optimistic. I still had faith. I still believed that we were having a positive experience as humanity. And I've suffered a lot when I was a kid. I've suffered more when I was a kid than I'm like suffering now. Like I suffered more when I was a kid. But what made me happy was believing that we were having a positive experience because I didn't know enough about the world. I was not conscious enough to understand the truth about everything. What stole my happiness was understanding the truth. Understanding the truth about money, understanding the truth about poverty, understanding the truth about religion, understanding the truth about the education system, understanding the truth about humanity, understanding the truth about God, understanding the truth about love. When I was young, I didn't understand truth about these things. So I was happy. I believed that the more you learn, the happier you will become. Because I believed that the world was good. So I need to learn more about the world so that I will become happier. So whenever I'll go through something, I'll be like, I need to know the truth. The reason why I'm stressing now is because I don't know the truth. So I need to know the truth. But as I was growing older, trying to figure out the truth in every situation, I figured out that the truth was always wicked. Whenever I tried to figure out what the truth was, let's say I was stressing because someone mistreated me, what I would tell myself is that everything is happening for a good reason. People are growing, they're becoming better. So I need to understand that. But I would realize that no, actually, human beings don't treat each other very well. In fact, humans treat the people that they think are better and that they think are going to help them well. But they don't treat people that they don't think are better. They don't treat people that they think are below them well. See, I was not like most humans. And I've never been. And I'm still not. Being human, for me, is like being sent into a new world where you have to disguise yourself as the creatures who live in that world, and you have to learn about them. I wasn't like other humans growing up. I didn't know how other humans think. And that's why I was very optimistic. I believed the world was better than I thought it was because I didn't know enough. And I expected good things. I didn't expect bad things. I didn't expect things to not make sense. I didn't expect the world to be evil. Because I was not evil. Like my heart was pure. I think now, even though I'm more conscious than a lot of people, I think I'm a bit evil. But when I was a kid, I wasn't really evil. Like I expected the best from other people because I was giving other people the best. I mean, I was mischievous as a kid, but I still had a good heart. I don't think I still have a good heart. I mean, I'm more conscious than a lot of people, so I might still treat people well. Not because I have a good heart, but because I'm conscious of how my actions affect other people. Well, when I was young, I had a good heart, but I wasn't conscious. So I was still treating people well because I had a good heart, but I wasn't conscious. I was mischievous. I broke the rules, but it was the rules that were meant to be broken. It was stupid rules that I broke. So I felt like an alien growing up. As I was learning about the world, as I was learning about how other people think, I was like, damn, this is crazy. I didn't know that human beings were like this because I'm not like that. So what's going on here? And that's what traumatized me. As I grew older, I became less happy because I was surprised. I didn't, like, the world was not what I thought it was. You see the problem? The world was not what I thought it was. The world was not what I expected it to be. Because I didn't believe that the world can be evil because I was not evil. A lot of people with good hearts get mistreated because they expect good treatment from other people because they themselves would treat these people good. But that's not how the world works. You find that people are taking advantage of other people's kindness. Like, what? This person lets you live in their house and you steal from them. Like, that's fucking traumatized. Can you imagine? You allow a person to live in your house because you want to do the right thing. You understand their pain. You understand their struggle, and they steal the most important from you and run away. That shit is traumatizing. You didn't think that that was possible. You didn't think that a person could actually do that if you help them. You think that they will actually appreciate the fact that you are helping them. But human beings are not like that. So that's what I was learning as I was getting older. And I was falling out of love with people. I was falling out of love with the world. Because what I thought it was not what it was. You see, I loved the world because I thought the more that I learned about it, the more I was going to love it. The more I was going to understand why I struggle. Because everything is actually good. I'm just not conscious enough to realize that. But I realized that the more conscious I become, the more I realize, no, this world is fucking evil. Some people might watch my videos and think I'm depressed. Trust me, I've been depressed. I've experienced the real depression. I'm talking about real depression. I'm not talking about what, some people call depression. I'm talking about real depression. I've experienced real depression. I don't believe that a lot of people will be able to handle the pain that I was able to handle when I was truly depressed. Right? Like that shit wasn't fun. I don't wish anyone go through what I went through when I was depressed. Right? I'm talking about not being able to sleep for real, bro. For days, you just close your eyes and you don't fall asleep. I'm talking about not being able to eat. Right? My mom will force me to eat. She'll be like, no, you gotta eat something. You're gonna collapse if you don't eat. It's like, I'm not hungry. She's like, no way. You gotta eat. I'm talking about being stressed 24/7. I'm talking about feeling like you are sick, you are physical, like when you're truly depressed, you actually feel weak. Like you feel the same way that you feel when you actually sick, when you have flu, when you have a headache, that when there's something wrong with your body, you feel the same way that you feel when there's something wrong with your body. I was feeling like that 24/7. I'm not depressed. I'm not depressed at all. All right? I'm not even sad, bro. I'm not even sad. I want y'all to get that. This is really important that you get that. Some people watch my videos and think I'm sad. I'm not sad. Growing up, I'm not happy. That's what's going on. But I'm not sad. Growing up, I became more interested in the truth. Truth about everything. Because the world was not making sense. The world was not what I thought it was. So that made me go like, you know what? I need to figure out what the truth is because this is not making sense. Here I am thinking that, We are in a world that is good. We're in a world that makes sense. We're in a world where there is a God that cares about us. But these things don't, like, that doesn't seem to be true. It seems like we've been lied to. So because of that, I became more interested in what the truth was. I became interested in what the truth was. It didn't matter to me what I will discover in pursuit of truth, right? It didn't matter what I was going to discover. Like, it wasn't about what I preferred the truth to be. In fact, when I was pursuing truth, I didn't mind what it was going to be. I was just curious. I became curious because things stopped making sense. So I was like, no, I gotta understand what the heck is going on. Why are things the way that they are in this world? The more I searched for the truth, the more I realized that the world is actually evil. But I didn't want to admit to myself that the world was evil. I still told myself that I was just not conscious enough to understand what was really going on. You see? I still convince myself that, oh, no, I'm just not conscious enough. Once I reach enlightenment, I'm going to realize that, no, the world is good. I'm going to laugh at myself for feeling like the world was bad. So I must just keep on learning and becoming more conscious. But the more I learn, the more I realize, nah, the truth is wicked. The truth is actually wicked. See, to me, it's not about finding comfort, right? It's about finding out what the truth is. It's always been about finding out what the truth is. It wasn't about finding comfort. Even though I believe that once I start understanding how things really work, I'm going to find comfort. But it wasn't really about finding comfort. It was about finding out what the truth was. The more I learned, the more I realized, no, the truth is wicked. The more I realized that, no, nothing makes sense. And the reason why nothing makes sense is because we have been lied to. The world isn't what I was told it was. You see? The world isn't what I was told it was. It's like the opposite of what I was told it was. I've communicated with a lot of people who told me that when they were young, they were happy. But as they got older, they became less happy. Would you say that they became less happy because they were doing something wrong? Or they were doing something right? This is a very important question. Did they become less happy because they were doing something wrong? Or they became less happy because they were doing something right? Today the water is like really, really clean. I know. Oh, okay. Yeah, the water is like clean today. Isn't nature beautiful? It seemed beautiful until you like really know what's going on. So it seems beautiful when you just look at everything from afar, like without like really looking at it, how things really work. So nature seems beautiful when you're just looking at everything from afar. You see the trees, you see the birds, you're like, hey, nature is beautiful, man. Damn, God is brilliant. But once you start noticing how things actually work, you realize that, oh shit. I love being in nature, man. I do love being in nature. Once you start to see things as they are, you become sad. You know what I realized about people who are happy? I mean, who seem happy? Let me put it that way because people lie. But, you know, there's people who seem happy or who believe they should be happy, so they pretend to be happy because they believe they should be happy. I've had deep conversations with people like this. I've had deep conversations with people who don't think they should be happy. I've had conversations with people who think they should be happy, and I've like real deep conversations. You see, I don't love like engaging in small talks. Some people think I'm quiet because when they're just having small talks, I'm like, I don't say anything. I want to have deep conversations with people. That's how I am. I hate small talks. Don't tell me about the weather. I hate that. I want to talk about consciousness. I want to talk about religion. I want to talk about antinatalism. I want to talk about euthanasia. I want to talk about the deepest things. I want to talk about politics sometimes, but even politics, you know, it's just, I know it's just games, so I'm not that interested. But what I've realized is that people who believe that we should be happy are less conscious than people who believe we shouldn't be happy. That's what I've realized. See, when I have a conversation with a person, I try to figure out how conscious they are by listening to what they are saying. I ask them deep questions and see if they have profound answers or if they are naive. And I've realized that the people who believe we should be happy are actually naive. It's not like they are more conscious than the people who believe we shouldn't be happy. They're just naive. And that made me realize that, oh, the reason why I was happy when I was a child is because I was naive. I try to like make people think deeply. Like, try to think deeply. Let's figure out if you really understand how things really work. And I realize, no, these people are so damn naive, and that's why they are happy. It's not because they're more conscious. I've had deep conversations with people who think they shouldn't be happy, or people who believe that they're not happy. I realize they make a lot of sense. Like, they think deeply about everything. And that's the reason why they feel like they are not happy. That's the reason why they think they shouldn't be happy. It's because they think deeply about everything, and the truth is actually wicked. We don't want the truth to be wicked, but it seems like the truth about everything is wicked. And that's the problem. The difference between people who think we should be happy and people who think we shouldn't be happy is their level of consciousness. Who's more conscious than the other? That's the only difference. People who think we shouldn't be happy are not people who are weak. People who have issues. It's actually people who think deeply about things. The more you think deeply, the less happy you become. But if you don't think deeply, if you don't see things as they really are, you are going to become happy because the world has been presented if it's good. Like I keep on telling you that we don't live in a world that is bad. We don't live in a world that is good, but that seems bad. We live in a world that is actually bad, but it seems good. It's like nature. Nature seems beautiful, right? But have you ever seen an animal getting unalived by another animal? Have you seen the struggles that these animals go through every day, live in constant fear of getting unalived? And that's how things work. That's how things have been programmed to work. That is what's natural. I remember a couple of weeks ago, I was in this other village. I was going to see someone. I came across this kid that was laughing by himself. He was just laughing. And I noticed that, it seems like, he isn't all there. He's just laughing by himself. I passed him, and he started to walk behind me, laughing by himself. Laughing in a way that was annoying. Just laughing. And he passed me and he was just laughing. He was walking like he was drunk. Right? Laughing by himself. Laughing. And I realized he was actually happy. That's why he was laughing. He was happy. He passed this other kid that seemed more serious. By looking at her face, I realized she might have really intelligent. I didn't know where I was going, so I asked her, do you know this person? She told me. The way that she spoke to me, I realized that she was very intelligent. I looked into her eyes and I felt sad. It's like I could see that she was sad. I wanted to make a video that day about the difference between people who are very conscious. You see that the other kid that was laughing, he's just not aware of what's going on around him. He's not even aware that people think that he might not be, like normal. He was not self-aware. But the other kid that seemed sad was very self-aware. I have communicated with a lot of people who told me they were happy, who told me they have the answers, who told me they have the solutions. Realized that they don't think that deeply, and that is the problem. You see, it's not like they are much more stronger than me, mentally stronger than me. They see things as they are. No, the truth is that they're just not seeing the bigger picture. Just, some people believe that when you see the bigger picture, you're gonna think that things actually make sense. Nope. Once you start seeing the bigger picture, because we live in a world that is actually upside down, you become unhappy. That is why people who are older are less. Older, like really, really old people might be happy because they become naive. They become like children. But people who are like in their 30s, 40s, 50s, they're not like really, excited about life. They don't want to play, they don't want to do a lot of things that we might consider to be fun because they're thinking about the reality of the world that they live in. So they don't want to be distracted. They don't want to distract themselves. And besides, they wouldn't even feel happy even if they started doing these things that a lot of people who are unconscious find happiness in, right? And some people will try to come up with solutions. They'll try to come up with answers. But you realize that they're only coming up with these answers because they are not conscious. It's like if someone say you should just pray, right? Let's say you are an atheist. You already realize that prayer doesn't work, and even if it did, it will still be dumb to be praying. Really, like why do you gotta pray in the first place? Do you gotta like fast and ask for God to protect? Why do you gotta fast? Why do you gotta beg God to protect you? Why do you gotta beg God to do what he wants you to do? He's the one that put you here. I mean, that's what you believe, so you gotta beg him. Can you imagine if kids had to like beg their parents for the things that they want? They had to fast when they want something, and this when their parents would be like, okay, I see that you really want this thing. Imagine. Like, no, just pray. Oh, just believe in Jesus. Like, what? What do you mean I should just believe in Jesus? I remember there's this screenshot that I uploaded on a YouTube community. Someone saying that they don't believe in God because their IQ isn't low enough. Like, I can't believe in what you believe in because my IQ isn't low enough. What you believe really does not make sense, but you're just not conscious enough to see that what you believe really does not make sense. So you believe that a person like me will become happy if they believe the things that you believe, but no, I'll become more confused because I've already escaped that delusion. You see, it can't work for me anymore. It's like when a kid discovers that Santa isn't real, and that kid maybe became less hopeful, and other kids were like, no, Santa is real. Just believe that Santa is real. You become hopeful again. You should stop believing that Santa isn't real. It's kind of like that. The real problem is that some people are not conscious, and some people are very conscious. And we live in a world that really seems good until you look at everything for what it is and you realize that no, things are not what I thought. You see? You believe that humans love one another. You believe in love. You watch movies about love, and you believe that life works that way. Like people can just love, like men and women can just love one another like that, until you realize that, oh no, actually it has to do with how great you are as a man, right? It has to do with how great you are as a man, and it has to do with how beautiful the woman is, how feminine she is. If you lose everything as a man, if you become broken as a man, you're not finding love. But Hollywood will make you believe that that's when you find love. That's when someone is going to be like there for you and help you get back on your feet. But that's not how it works in the real world. So you realize that no, love is not what I thought it was. Damn. So I thought love was this beautiful thing, but it still isn't. Even though it seemed like this beautiful thing. If you find love, have fun, man. It's beautiful to have fun, all right? It's beautiful to have the kind of experiences that you want. But what you must realize is that we don't just love one another like that as people. There are conditions. I remember on the last video that I uploaded, I spoke to these kids. I was in this other village. We had like a family reunion. I'd never been in that village before, so I didn't know where a tavern was. Remember asking these kids, and this kid gave me instruction. Gave me that direction. And I was surprised because you're still young. It's like, damn, like he's so good at giving directions. Like that's actually impressive. So I thanked him and congratulated him. It's like, yeah, man, like you seem very smart, you know. And as I continued to record, I was recording. So I continued to record. One of the kids asked for 1 rand. I was like, huh? Like, oh, why, can you give me 1 rand? I was like, come back. Forgot how much I gave the kids. Kevin Nett jokingly said those kids hustled me. I mean, jokingly, you know. Me and Kevin Nett, like, we talk a lot, so yeah, it was a joke. He's just saying, it was just joking. No, the kids hustled me. I knew he was joking, but there's this response that came into my head, and it was a very profound response. It's like, let's say they did hustle me. I didn't feel like I lost anything because I had more money than they asked for. Like I had more money. Like what I gave them was nothing compared to the money that I had. But they were much happier than I was with all the money that I had after giving them. Like you can see that they're really happy. I was really, really happy, but And I had more money than them, but I wasn't happy. I was going to buy alcohol because I wasn't happy. If I was happy, maybe I would. I mean, even if I was happy, I'd probably buy alcohol. That made me think. One of the biggest reasons why life seem meaningless once you become conscious is because you realize why we treat each other the way that we treat each other. So even though KevNet was joking, in the real world, you don't just give people money like that. They have to give you something for you to give them money. It got to a point where relationships are like transactional. Like, people will love you when they believe you are worthy of their love. They will love you if they believe that you deserve to be loved. They will treat you the way that they believe you deserve to be treated, not how you want to be treated. Rich people can make some people who are poor very, very happy. But they wouldn't do what I did. Like, most of them wouldn't do what I did. I remember I came across this post on Facebook some years back. I still remember. It said, isn't it funny that someone can buy a watch that costs $500,000, and that money can literally change my life? It said $5,000 or $500,000. Don't really remember. That's people who are super rich who identify someone who would really be happy if they gave them $10,000. Who would, like, you understand that there are people, like, if you gave them $10,000, you literally change their lives. Like, things, like, you would make them super, super happy, and you wouldn't have, like, really lost a lot. We are not like that as people. We love people who deserve our love. We give people what we believe they deserve. See, we give people what they already have, basically. We don't want to make someone super happy. Those kids were happy. I gave them what they felt they didn't deserve. Why do they deserve that? Out of nowhere, you just give them. We don't live in a world like that. You realize that the truth is much more wicked than you could have imagined. We live in a world where people will give you what you deserve, and the reason why they give you what you deserve is because they believe they can get something from you in return. See, some people will give you what they believe you deserve because they want your approval. They believe you're going to help them in the future. I keep on giving you this example that if someone very attractive asked you for money, you probably give them. Like, I'm talking about someone, okay, let's say this person is attractive, they're well dressed, they look like they're successful. You probably will give them if they ask for money. But if someone who looked homeless asked for money, you probably wouldn't give them. And that person needs more, like, they need that money more than the other person needs it. I remember 50 Cent said something interesting. He said, you've got to act like you don't need anything from people, because people don't give you what you want. Like, once they feel you need something from them, they start to think you're not worthy of it, so they're not going to give you, because we're selfish. So if you are really in need, like, if you really need help, people don't help you. But if you don't really need help, people help you. So you realize this kind of truth. You realize that you shouldn't really be happy because there is no meaning. You see? That's the problem. Like, there's no meaning. There's no meaning in that. There's no meaning in me going to a shop and buying something. That's not gonna make me feel like, damn, like the person that I bought what I bought from really cares about me. I know that they gain something and I gain something, so there's no meaning in that, right? What I would find meaning in is like me being totally hungry, broke, and needing food, and someone realizing that I'm hungry, I'm broke, and say, look, I want to buy you some food. Like, oh, I'm vegan. Like, no, yeah, actually, I don't care. Like, I'm gonna buy you exactly what you want. That would be life changing. That would make me go like, wow, what's going on? There are people who gave you things that you didn't feel you deserve in your life, and you never forget these people. And they might have made you feel like the world is good. Like they treated you so well that you were like, but maybe this world is good. I mean, like we're looking for hope. We're looking for something real. We're looking for something more than just people trying to survive. Something that happens not because people are just trying to survive, but that happens because people have love, they care about one another, and they are conscious, and they're trying to create meaningful experiences. And that's not what we're getting. As you get older, you realize that that's not how the world works. You realize that, hey man, people love you because there is something that they can gain from you. You see? If you are a guy and you have nothing, you realize that, well, girls love guys who have something. If I had a lot of things, a lot of girls would be chasing me. So, wow, that's crazy. So, I mean, it's natural and there's nothing, like you shouldn't be mad at that as a guy, but it's true. And it takes, like it takes something from life, actually. It takes something from the meaning of life. Like it makes life feel meaningless. You see? It makes life feel meaningless because it would be meaningful if someone was able to love you even if you had nothing and they helped you. Especially because that's the time, this is when you need their love the most. That's when love will actually heal you. That's when, like, when you're truly broken, when you truly have no one, that's when love will actually heal you. But when you realize that you truly have no one, when you're truly broken and you have to like rebuild yourself, how can you find meaning in that? You see? So as you get older, you realize that, nah, man, the world is not what I thought it was. People are just trying to survive. Nature doesn't really care about us. It isn't programmed us to care about one another. It isn't programmed us to truly love one another. It programmed us to survive. And the best way to survive is to not care about the people who are broken because they can't help us. So we must care about people who have what we want because those are the people that can help us survive. You see? What's the meaning in that? There are people who are truly broken, who truly need us, but we can't love them. We don't have feelings for them. You see, we don't care about them. So because we are naturally selfish, we don't give a shit. We don't even think about them. We're programmed to be naturally selfish so that we'll survive because that's what nature wanted. It didn't want us to create a meaningful life. It didn't want our lives to be meaningful. It just wanted us to continue to procreate because there's something that it wants from us. That's it. So you realize that it's all meaningless. You realize that people don't really love one another. If you have had people gossiping about other people, people who you thought were, they were friends with, that takes away from the meaning of life. Like, that makes life become less meaningful, because there's no meaning in that. You realize that people are just living a lie. You see the problem. So the more conscious you become, the more you actually want to detach yourself from the world, the more you actually wish the world was better, but you know that it can never become better, so you wish for a better world. You wish for a better reality, because you realize that we are in a trap. We're trying to survive in this trap. There's no meaning, there's no love. Things are not actually becoming better. You see the problem. But you only realize that once you become conscious. When you're not conscious, you don't see things as they are. You see things as they're presented to be. I know a lot of people who are still Christians who are so damn unconscious. You talk to them, you realize that they're so damn unconscious. And remember, Christianity is presented as this good religion that helps you ascend, that helps you become a better person. But it isn't. There's a lot of darkness behind it. But they're just not conscious enough to see that. So they're happy, they dance, they sing songs, praise God. They're naive, you see? Ever, like, seeing a person who was in love with a person who didn't love them, and he knew that, oh, this person doesn't love them, and they think that this person loves them. This person is in a relationship with a person that doesn't love them, but they think, oh, this person loves me. You see how happy they are, but you know that they shouldn't be happy, because the person that they think loves them doesn't love them. That's kind of like how it is when you see a Christian being super happy because they are a Christian singing in church. You're like, there's a lot of darkness behind your religion. It's not about love, it's not about truth, it's about manipulation, it's about control, it's about slavery. But you don't realize that because you're too damn unconscious. See, once you start seeing things as they are, you seem depressed even when you're not depressed. Some people are going to say, oh, I'm happy, and they look at that as an achievement. But they don't realize that maybe they're happy believing what they believe because they don't know enough. That's why. No, I'm happy, Jesus loves me, you should just try to find Jesus, you'll be fine. Like, no, I'm too conscious. You're not. That's the difference between us. Jesus isn't real. There isn't a person who died for your sins. That doesn't make any sense. Why would another person die for your sins? Why would they even have to die for your sins? And they try to explain it. God sent Jesus. Like, still, that doesn't make sense. I understand your explanation, but that doesn't mean that the explanation makes sense. I can do something horrible and explain it, and then someone says that, and then someone gives the same explanation to someone else, even if it doesn't make sense. You see? I can do something horrible and I give an explanation, and then someone listens to me giving that explanation and don't even try to think whether the explanation makes sense or not, and then they give the same explanation to someone else as if that explanation makes sense, because they don't even know what makes sense and what doesn't. See, the more you see things as they are, the harder it will be for you to find joy. to find meaning, to become super excited. That is why when you were little, maybe you were not happy, but you were bad. You felt better. You probably felt better than you feel now, than you feel in your 20s, than you feel in your 30s, than you feel in your 40s and 50s. Maybe you feel good again when you are in your 60s, when you are in your 70s, because you become naive. Older people are very naive. They kind of like children. So maybe I don't know. I mean, it might happen that you keep on becoming more and more conscious because you went you were conscious, you weren't ignorant. So it might happen that you become more and more conscious as you get older. But a lot of people, when they become older, they become less conscious. But if you're different, maybe you become more and more conscious. Maybe. What you must realize about this world is that things ain't what they seem. What shocked me is that whenever I tried to figure out the truth about anything, it turned out that the truth was wicked. Like, there's never been a point where I found out that the truth wasn't wicked. It's like the truth is always wicked. So we lie to ourselves and we hate people who speak the truth. We gaslight people who speak the truth. I remember last night I came across a post on Facebook that was posted in this other group. This person was saying, people who are good looking are the ones who become successful, and people who are not good looking don't become successful. And a lot of people were saying, oh no, you need help, you need to talk to a professional. That is not true. They were trying to be positive. They're trying to make that person seem like believe that there's something wrong with them for thinking that way. But isn't that how the world works? Don't we treat attractive people better than we treat people who are not attractive? And because we treat attractive people better than people who are not attractive, they become very confident and they are able to do a lot of things. You see, depression sometimes can make you not want to do anything. If you live in a world where people are mistreating you, in a world where people are treating other people better than they're treating you, they can make you numb and not even want to do anything. They can even make you feel like you're lazy. You don't have the motivation to do anything because of how you feel. Not because you are weak, not because you're not intelligent, but because of how you feel, because of how society made you feel. So if you are very attractive, chances are you're gonna be motivated to do things because people are treating you well. And on top of everything, if they will still be responding better to you because you're attractive. So you have the motivation to do the things that you want, and you're attractive, so you become more and more successful. That's how nature programmed things to be. Those who are attractive have to be treated better than those who are not attractive. You cannot say that is not true, but people were telling this person that is not true. I was like, what the hell? They're not conscious. The truth is wicked. That's the thing. The truth is that a kid that comes from a rich family is going to be treated better than kids that come from poor families. That teacher is going to treat them differently. kid that comes from a rich family is going to be treated better by it. Like it's the truth, right? The most attractive kid is going to be treated better by teachers than the most ugly kid in class. That's how it works. You see, it's reality. The more handsome you are as a guy, the better you're going to be. The more you're going to be treated well by women and by people in general, not just women. Even guys are going to treat you well because women are treating you well. Maybe you have lots of female friends that want to be with you and they know that. So whenever you're going out, all these women want to go out with you. So these guys are like, hey man, this guy is loved by women. So if, we become close to him, then, we're going to get the women. You see, this guy is popular. So we'll also become popular because we're close to this person. That's how it works. That's reality. Am I lying? But people lie to themselves because they are not conscious. They believe that we are having a positive experience. They don't want to admit that the truth is dark. You see? They don't want to admit that the truth is wicked. They don't want that to be true. Like, nah, it can't be true that the truth is wicked. But it is. So this is the world that we live in, man. I'm telling you how the world that we're living in really is. I'm telling you how the world that we're living in really is. I might not be telling you what you want to hear, but I'm telling you how things really work. It is better to know so that you will make better decisions. Right? It's good to know how things work so that you will make better decisions. If you don't know how things work, you can make stupid decisions that are going to lead to like more suffering. So you find that you suffer a lot because you've been making bad decisions, and other people suffer too because you've been making better decisions. But when you see things as they really are, you'll be able to make better decisions. So you make better decisions by seeing things as they really are. You don't make better decisions when you lie to yourself. Sometimes you might make decisions that might seem good for a while, but then you find that there are a lot of bad things that happen because you made that decision. But when you see things as they are, you make a decision that's gonna be good, not just for you, but for everyone. You see? So it is important that you see things as they are than lying to yourself. It doesn't help. Thank you all, guys.